Hey everybody, welcome back. So I'm super excited. The photographer that I work with the most at my news station is getting married tomorrow, and my boyfriend and I will be heading up to his wedding. So I kind of created the makeup look that I'm going to wear to the wedding, and if you're going to any weddings this summer, this would be a great look for you, or really any kind of fancy event. It's a little bit more full glam, full makeup, but I really think it's makeup that will last all night long because I've tried using these techniques before and they have worked to kind of keep your makeup in place. So if you want to recreate this spring wedding makeup look that will last you all night long, keep watching. Okay, so we're going to start with the eyes. I've already primed with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, or you can just use kind of like a tan base. And then I'm going to go in and start using the Tartist Pro To Go palette. I just picked this up from Sephora the other day, just because it's a smaller set, so I feel like, there won't be like a lot of product wasted, because I feel like I can never use all the products in most of the eyeshadow palettes. So to start, I'm going to just take the color Crisp down here. It's kind of like an orangey brown color, and a Sigma E70 medium angled shading brush, and kind of just work that into the crease. And like I said, I just feel like there's always so many colors that I don't even touch in eyeshadow palettes, so I really like the idea of taking kind of like a smaller mini palette, since I figured then I'll actually be able to use a decent amount of it. And I'm actually going to bring that a little bit of a ways up to onto the more of the brow bone out of the crease. Then, because I am going to be wearing a purple dress, I'm going to go in with the color Dominate and start working that in kind of basically over the crease color, but a little bit more into like a V motion. So slightly on the actual mobile lid, and then slightly into the crease to kind of create a V. And then we're going to bring that a little bit back into the crease as well. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Sigma E55 and pick up quite a bit of the Hype color. I'm really going to pack that on my brush, and then we're just going to actually like pat that over the lid. Over the entire mobile lid. And again, since these are such pigmented colors, that's really going to cover, and you just want to start packing it in so that it gets just slightly into the crease, so that we can then blend that out in the crease. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to blend in and kind of help some of those lines disappear on the along the top of the shadow, so that it kind of disappears into the brow bone. And I am going to go in and clean up the edges, but just in kind of circular motions, kind of blend out a little bit of the edges on this side as well. I'm then going to take my Sigma E30 pencil brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that Dominate color underneath the lash line to really highlight the purple, and just kind of bring that up to meet the color on the top lid. Once you kind of clean that color off of your Sigma E30 pencil brush, I'm just going to go back in with the Hype color and just take that from the beginning closer to the tear duct and kind of blend that into the purple color. And then going in again with the tapered blending brush. I'm just softening that a little bit. I have my little Estee Edit, just a very small like eyeshadow mini palette here. I believe it's the number 6 Current Desire number 4, and it's just like a white shadow. Any white shadow is fine, but just picking that up on the pencil brush, and I'm just going to highlight my eyebrow with that, and my my tear duct. Again, the inner corner here. Okay, and then for liner, I'm first going to go in with a Sephora waterproof water liner in the color 03 Wide Eyed. It's like a light kind of pinky flesh color. Usually when I'm looking for a more dramatic look, I would actually put a black in, but just because we're going to be going with kind of a more brown colors, I think it'll just complement the eye better to have a bright one. So once we pop that on, then the one product I'm excited to try, I just picked this up today, the Maybelline Master Khol. It's a kohl eyeliner. It has like a pretty fat tip, so I'm not really sure exactly how precise this will be, but I really like just drawing it on my hand. I feel like I like the color, and I like how smoothly it goes on. So I'm just going to work that into my top lash line, and if it's a little bit too thick, I'll just go back and smudge that out. But let's see. Oh, it looks so nice. I haven't had a brown liner in a while, and I just love how it looks with the smoky eye. For the day-to-day, I like the black, especially when I'm going to be on camera, but the brown is just so nice. It's just a little bit softer. Okay, and I don't even think I'm going to need to really smudge this in, because it seems to be going on pretty well. And I'm just going to take a tiny bit of a wing with this. So I'm just going to kind of work it, kind of basically you want to draw a line from the edge of your nose to the top of your, to the edge of your eyebrow, and kind of that is where you want to put the actual wings. So we're just going to do a little bit here. And then I'm going to have it meet up with the rest of my liner. And this may be a little bit too fat to do wings a lot, but we've already committed, so we're just gonna do it on the other side as well. Okay, and that just kind of helps lift the eyes a little bit. So now that we have kind of all of those products on, I'm going to go back in and start working on the face. So to really make sure that our foundation stays in place all day and has a really nice finish, I'm gonna go in with the Porefessional by Benefit and just smooth that onto the skin. Or you can use whatever primer you feel like works best for you. If you have particularly dry skin or need a little bit of luminizing, or a primer rather, or if you have oily skin like mine, you might want to go in with something like this Benefit, or a product that is going to really keep your oil in check all day. For foundation, I really want a super flawless foundation that's going to last all day. So the go-to would be the Estee Edit Double Wear. Even if you don't have oily skin, this foundation is amazing. It really does what it says. It's double wear. It stays in place for hours and hours. It isn't going to budge, and it dries down matte. So if you're looking for a really luminous finish, it might not be the best. But it just looks so nice on the skin once it's dried. So I'm just kind of working, just so I don't have too much product. I've just put a bunch on my flat foundation brush. I'm just kind of putting that across the face, and then I'm just gonna work that in with the flat foundation brush, kind of paint this on. Of course, starting with, in the center where we want more coverage, and then working our way out. Probably just put a little bit too much on, but I am gonna work this down on the neck as well, because I want everything to look really uniform. And I am gonna go back in and bronze this up a little bit, just because I have been putting some self-tanner on the rest of my body, so that looks a little bit nicer in pictures. Just working that into the hairline as well. And I'm just gonna leave just kind of under my eye a little bit bare for when we go back in concealer. And really make sure this is worked into the skin. It doesn't stay really liquid for long, so you kind of have to work a little bit quickly. And you can use a beauty blender. With this, I just feel like with this kind of foundation, I like a brush, or a foundation brush, kind of that flat brush. Then we have the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer. It's waterproof, and I've actually really been liking this one recently, kind of in place of my Bye Bye Under Eye. I'm just gonna pop a little bit right from the tube, just kind of underneath the eye, and we're gonna blend that out with a just a concealer brush. Again, you can definitely use a beauty blender, and actually I have been using a beauty blender when I use this product. I'm just not today because I want a super precise application. So just putting this all in all the places that we normally highlight. Center of the forehead, down the center of the nose, under the eyes, around the nose, and on the chin. And remember, under the eye, kind of staying with that like check mark motion, creating that upside down triangle. Okay, so now that we're done highlighting, we're gonna start going in and contouring. You can take any like dark foundation or whatever contour cream you like. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Shine Free Foundation in Coconut. So we're gonna just start with right on the hollows of the cheekbones. And I'm going to kind of keep my contour more towards the outer halves of my forehead, just because I have a very round face, so we want it to look slightly more, slightly more thin. And then, of course, down each sides of the nose. And just a little bit on the jawline. I'm just going to kind of dab that. And then you can either work that in with a damp beauty blender, or I have here, I believe it's a contour brush by Slimming Glam, and just start working that in. And we are going to go in with kind of all of our creams, and then go back in with powders for our highlight and contour and blush, just because that will really ensure that our makeup lasts all night. Because when you just go in with the cream or just go in with the powder by itself, sometimes it can kind of move on you throughout the day and kind of fade a little bit, versus having kind of the both of the powder or the cream and then going in with the powder. That will really make sure it stays on a lot longer. You'll get a lot more payoff. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with a cream blush. I have the same one I've been using for a while, the Seraphine Botanicals in Guava Butter. And it's just a nice kind of lighter pinky with slightly mauve undertones. I'm just gonna work that into the apples of the cheek. And you could definitely even use your fingers for this. My skin's like very warm right now, just because it's kind of warm in our apartment, so. So then just to set under the eyes, I have my Laura Mercier. And today, instead of just going in with a little tiny eyeshadow brush that I've been using, which is like, honestly, just kind of like takes a long time, I have the Real Techniques setting brush. It's kind of just like a smaller flat brush. I'm just gonna kind of tap that into the lid where I've put some of the product and just set that under the eyes, and it really keeps your makeup in place if you're gonna be, you know, needing your makeup to stay in place for a long period of time. And then just use a little bit of that also on the places that I highlighted. And then I usually just like to put a little bit more in the lid and just take a little bit of a larger foundation brush and just kind of push that into the rest of the skin too, to make sure that our contour and our foundation stay in place. All right, moving on now, we are going to go over the highlighter with the Ophra Cosmetics Banana Highlighting Powder, or any just really light foundation. I'm just gonna take kind of a fluffy tapered blending brush, but I'm just gonna take a little bit of the yellow highlighting powder or any light powder of a lighter powder, and just kind of go over the places that I highlighted. This will really make sure they, again, stay in place for a longer period of time and are really nice and bright. Okay, and then I'm going to go over my contour with a bronzer. I have the Bahama Mama. I'm just gonna take that on a tapered blending brush and just go over the hollows of the cheekbones and over the forehead as well. And just a little bit on the jawline. Basically just what's left over on my brush. And again, it's kind of that same fat foundation brush. I'm then gonna go in with some blush. I have the Pacifica Wild Rose. I've been kind of preferring this blush recently to some of my other ones. I'll probably go back to my City Color palette in the summer, but this is just a really nice kind of spring, or honestly even fall color, since it has a little bit more of like a purple mauve undertones. Then gonna go in with my e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. I'm gonna just take some pink illuminating powder up on the cheekbones and work that down. I'm just gonna take just a smaller kind of very fine eyeshadow brush and just take a little bit of the white up and highlight on top of the eyebrow bone. Kind of accentuate the brows here. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of the white down the center of the nose. Let's move on to the brows and lashes. First, I'm going to work my brows through with a spoolie. This is the J. Cat's Brow Duo pencil. Really any brow duo will do. Pretty much almost all the major brands kind of make them at this point, with a pencil on one end and a spoolie on the other. I'm just going to take that this pencil. I'm just going to start filling them in and kind of working in short strokes. Fill in my brow, and I'm going to first just start with the top of the brow. That's where mine tend to be the sparsest. You can see they're like pretty thick on the bottom, but on the very top they're a little bit sparse. Okay, once you have that done, you can either set them with a clear or tinted brow gel. I have the Gimme Brow in number 3, and this will just kind of also help correct the color being slightly off. And either if you use a powder or a pencil, you definitely do want to set the brows no matter what, with even if it's just a clear brow gel, just to ensure that those hairs kind of all stay in place. And I'm just going to go in with the Smashbox X-Rated Mascara. This is one that once I've used this up, I am going to definitely go back and buy the full size. I've tried a bunch. I had so many of these little mascara samples, and I was like, I really need to go through and find one that I like. And this one has definitely been a winner. And especially when you're wearing such a full-on eye makeup look, you definitely want to do pretty full lashes just to really anchor the look. Okay, love it. All right, and now for lips, I am first going to go in, oh my goodness, which one is this? I believe this is the Tarte Liquid Lipstick in Pinup. I'm sort of just going to slightly overline my lips. Okay, and I'm actually gonna let that dry for a second, and then we're gonna put a little bit more of like a pinky purple lipstick on top. But to set the whole thing, I'm just going to be using the Urban Decay Deslick, or you can use whatever your favorite setting spray is, just to make sure the look stays in place all night. Okay, and then once our liquid lipstick is dried, over that, over the pinup color, I'm just gonna go in with the Marc Jacobs Kiss Kiss Bang Bang number 216. I just have a little teeny tiny version of this. Keep forgetting to buy the full version. It's just a little bit more of like a pinky purple. And as you can see, that's kind of picking up just like a little bit more of the purple. It kind of matches a little bit more. Like I said, this shirt is pretty close. So this is the completed look, and I will definitely take pictures tomorrow and post them on my Instagram, Pretty and Polished, of me with like actually all my hair and jewelry and dress on. So definitely check those out, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun, and I'll let you know if this makeup holds up all night as well. So just be sure to check in the description box and check out the Instagram. Please like and subscribe.